Hello everybody and welcome back. I'm going to try something new, and rather than give an update on my HELOC and portfolio, I'm going to let you know what I'm currently buying and why. Let's get into it. When it comes to buying stocks, I generally have a plan beforehand. I know what I want my portfolio to look like in 5 years, and one by one, I reinvest my dividends into them. I do want to grow my position in my core ETFs category and blue chip companies, but there are just a couple more covered call ETFs and split share funds that I want. I'm almost done with them, I promise, but just a couple more. Let's take a look at them. My first stock is H-Yield. This diverse ETF holds 7 other US covered call ETFs with a similar sector mix to the S&P 500 and currently has a yield of 10.4%. I just recently built this up to 5K, so I'm done for now. Great. Next on my list is building up HDIV and RS to 5K each. HDIV is similar to H-Yield, but instead of focusing on the S&P 500, HDIV focuses more on the TSX 60, which is the 60 largest companies listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange, and currently has a yield of 8.3%. RS is a real estate split share fund from Middlefield and holds 16 REITs from 7 different sectors, and currently has a yield of 8%. These both have great yields and help diversify my portfolio. The last one on my list is HDIF, which is an ETF of 5 other equal weighted ETFs from Harvest, and has a yield of 8.7%. Now there is some slight overlap with other holdings I have, but they are more different than they are similar. First, this ETF holds HHL, which I already have 5K in. But that's fine, 5,000 is only 1.6% of my overall portfolio, so I could add a bit more. And HDIF also holds HUBL, US Bank Leaders Income ETF, which is a similar sector as ZWK, BMO's covered call US Banks ETF. I currently have $10,000 in ZWK, so isn't this a big overlap? Well, no. Although they are from similar sectors, HUBL holds 16 equities, while ZWK holds 43. That's a big difference, so again, I'm fine holding both. So that was my plan for the short term. I just finished H-Yield, I'm currently building up HDIV and RS, then I'll focus on HDIF, and then I'll be done with covered call ETFs and split share funds for the foreseeable future. I have enough, I'm good. Except when I looked at all my holdings, one stood out as being discounted the most, TXF, CI Tech Giants Covered Call ETFs. It holds many of the top US tech companies like Apple, Intel, Meta, Google, Amazon to name a few. And while I don't like investing in individual tech companies themselves, an ETF offers diversity and low volatility. As many of you know, tech companies have been on the decline lately, and TXF is no exception. It's currently down 26.5% from its recent high. I could go with VFV, which holds many of the same companies, but that's a little too diverse beyond tech and doesn't have the discount TXF has. Plus, the call writing does excellent during these volatile times. And at its current yield of 13.6%, I feel compelled to add more to my current investment of $5,000. Another reason why I prefer to own TXF rather than the companies themselves is that while I'm using my HELOC to invest, I typically wouldn't like to see my stock's value stay flat for a couple years and pay little to no dividends. But if that happens with TXF, at least I'll be seeing that high yield. Win-win. Another overlap is that TXF is also in H-Yield that I just brought up to 5K. You may be wondering why I continue to buy a single stock like TXF when it's included in H-Yield, and there are a few reasons for this. 1. The yield is 3% higher. It's nothing crazy, but hey, who doesn't like an extra 3%? 2. H-Yield is pretty new and we don't know how it will perform. If you look at ZWC, another covered called ETF, you'll see that since its inception, it has declined. I'm not including post-COVID because everything did well. Contrast this to TXF's chart and look at that growth. It's been around since 2011, and while I agree that the past doesn't dictate the future, I feel pretty good about this one. And remember, this is both growth and a 13.5 yield. Amazing! So while it's currently at a 26.5% discount, I'll be buying TXF until it either starts to recover or I hit a principal investment amount of 10K. Let me know about any other discounts out there and what you're currently buying in the comments below. Thank you all very much for watching and take care.